Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Kook Shed, my own little YouTube channel where I share tips and ideas and reviews relating to surfing and bodyboarding. Today we've got a little quick one for you. This is just regarding the cord that attaches your leg rope to your board or your bicep leash or wrist leash, arm leash, whatever, to your bodyboard. So from time to time you may find that you need a piece of nylon cord for those applications. So you might have a leg rope that doesn't have a piece of cord that attaches to loop around the leash anchor that's installed in your board, and you might be in a bit of a jam and not able to attach your leg rope to your board. Now some newer leg ropes, they come with a cord attached, but I find they sort of get in the way anyway, and I prefer to use my own separate cord, but I'll go into that maybe another time. So you might be stuck at the beach or somewhere, you might be travelling and you can't get access to some cord, some nylon cord. So just like this one here, it's just a cord, just a piece of nylon, thick cord that's going to wrap around the pin. There's a pin in your leash anchor that's installed on your board, and also attached to the leg rope or the rail saver of your leg rope. So then you can get out there surfing with the leg rope on, or an arm rope if you're using the bodyboard. With the bodyboard, maybe the arm rope's still very good, but the actual cord that's attached to the end of the arm rope, and most bodyboarding arm ropes, these cords are sort of incorporated into the design, and the leg rope, the arm rope material actually folds over this sort of stuff. But yeah, I have seen them perish. I have seen metal, the little metal swivels can sometimes, if they've got a little edge on them, like a burr on the edge, they can actually start cutting into the string and making it not work like it used to. So bodyboarders, you might want to consider that too, replacing the cord from time to time if that happens to you. So basically the tip is, on your board bags, board socks, okay? So I don't know, you might not use board socks, but I've got a few of them. So on the board socks, they usually have a nice generous length of nylon cord. So all I do is I guess the measurement of the cord I need. Always make sure you go a little bit longer to allow for, you know, when you need to shorten the leg, when you need to shorten the cord by tying it in a knot and that sort of thing. So always allow a little bit extra. But yeah, these board sock tightening cords, so they're used to, alright, so they're used to tighten up this entry hole, right? Once the board is in the sock, the cord is simply used to tighten it back up and keep it protected, keep the tail protected, or the nose, depending on which way you put your board in. So yeah, I have in the past, I have cut some of this short, and it's worked great. So definitely worth considering if you're in a jam and you need a new cord to attach your leg rope or your bodyboard to your board. Another thing that it might also come in handy for is flipper savers for the bodyboarders. So you might turn up somewhere, you don't have flipper savers, it's a bit heavier than you'd expected, or it's just pretty heavy and the conditions, and you might feel the need to put on some flipper savers, some fin tethers around your ankle. So this stuff will get you by. You know, it might not be the most comfortable compared to those padded ones that have the neoprene padding on them and Velcro and that sort of thing, but this sort of cord should get you by. So you can actually buy this cord in bulk. You can buy them like from camping stores and things like that. Sometimes Aldi has camping supplies. They'll have a special on camping supplies, and they'll have a roll of this sort of nylon cord. They use them for, they're selling them to be used with like tents, tent poles and tent strings and that sort of thing, and tethering. So you can grab a whole roll of that and just keep it at home, but you might leave it at home, that sort of thing. Sometimes the cord's a little bit thick, but generally, yeah, that's why I recommend just keeping this in mind, because there might be a time when you're stuck and you just need to cut a bit of this to attach it to attach your leash to your board, or use as flipper savers. So once again, always cut the length a little bit longer than what you need to allow for when you tie the knot. Okay, I'll just put that there. So you need to allow enough length in the cord to sort of put that, you tie them in a knot together, the two ends, to create a loop. So just make sure you remember that. I've just done a small, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a knot now in it, so that this loop part goes through the leash anchor around the pin. There's a pin in there, and same with your bodyboard plug. There's a little bar that this goes in and under, and then loops back through, and then away you go. Another thing I would also recommend is when you cut the string, melt the ends. Just melt the ends a little bit with a lighter or something. Do it safely. You know, you're playing with fire, so just do it safely. And sometimes this nylon does it does flame up because it's synthetic. So just be aware of that. So I melt the tips, and then I just sort of wet my fingers and then just pinch it to one, stop it sort of continuing to burn, and two, it sort of sets it solid in a hard lump quickly, so that it won't fray out in the surf, out in the salt water. It won't fray as easily. It won't start shortening the length of that cord. So that's another one to remember. You just melt the ends, and you just wet the tips really quickly. Once it's melted, you can do it with cold water or whatever you like. But I just wet my fingers and it's done. And there you go. You've got your board attached to your leg rope or your bodyboard leash, or you've got some little flipper saver pieces of string to get you by when you need it. So that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd mention this little tip. It's come in handy a couple of times for me. Keep in mind, don't cut the cord too short. I've noticed that they do allow a lot of cord. Like when you get the board sock, it's usually got a lot of cord on it, so it will allow you to cut off a few pieces. But also don't go too short, because you still want the cord to be able to do its job and open and extend as the board back opens up. See, if it's too short, the ends of the cord will actually go into the board bag itself, and it might be hard to get them out. That sort of thing, you could end up in troubles. If you've got a few board socks, like I do, I would just pinch the cord from random different ones, so that they all still keep their relative length, and you can still use them as for what they're intended for. So that's pretty much it. It's a nice and quick one, and hopefully it gets you out of a jam sometimes. It's just a good one to remember. So if you want to see more tips like this, just subscribe to the channel. If you thought it was helpful and you like the tip, hit like so I know what's going on out there. If you've got other ideas, let us know in the comments. That's always great when other people chip in their info and it helps other people. so that's good. Let us know any other tips like this. Yeah, and like I said, if you want to see more like this, you want to see tips, ideas, little things that I think of that might be helpful to you out in the surfing community, bodyboarding community, just hit subscribe, and I will see you here next time on Kook Shed. Thanks for dropping in. Catch ya.